My name is Mark Hendrickson. I'm out here in Spain, as Albert was just saying. A little bit about me just before we dive into the product, which is Hero Wallet. I'm the product lead for the Hero Wallet. Originally from Menlo Park, California, heart of Silicon Valley. Been out here in Barcelona, Spain now for almost 10 years. Our team is very much a remote one. So we have folks out here in Europe and the US working on the wallet. I've been about 5 years in crypto, joined Blockstack, which is now Hero, back in 2018, and been working in technology startups for about 15 years now in total, a mix of consumer and enterprise tech. And my background is in app development, design. I studied liberal arts in college, a mix of politics, economics, those sorts of things. I enjoy crypto in part because of the intersection of all those topics. And I'm dedicated to the idea of Bitcoin-based technology in general, given its long-term potential for expanding human freedom, which sounds a bit grandiose, but that's why I'm here. As far as Hero Wallet, so what is it essentially? It is a self-custody crypto wallet, which means you own your own keys. You're not trusting anyone else to own your crypto for you. And it's a wallet that specializes in, I'd say, two things in particular. One, it's about powering apps. It's not a wallet to use just on its own and to hodl. It's a wallet to use with applications that extend its functionality. And it specializes in Bitcoin primarily, and the Stacks network as an L2 for Bitcoin. And so we really aim for a Bitcoin first experience with the Hero wallets. We view Bitcoin as the L1 to work around. And Stacks as an L2 that brings smart contracts and scalability of Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts, as we all know, and also has scaling limitations that Stacks can help with. And so as a wallet, we want to leverage both of these blockchains together to help applications build robust experiences that scale as well. We've been around for quite a while. We started the desktop version of the Hero wallet about 5 years ago. This was after the initial Stacks ICO, end of 2017, start of 2018. And then around the launch of Stacks 2.0, at the start of 2021, we launched an extension version. It feels like a lot longer than 2 years ago. Lots has gone on, but that's how much time it's been. Still a long time in crypto land. These days, we have over 100,000 active installs of the extension. We've had hundreds of thousands more of the desktop over the last 5 years. And we are both the first extension wallet for Stacks. And these days, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're the most popular extension wallet for both Bitcoin and Stacks, as far as wallets you can find in the browser that power applications. And recently we added some key features, Taproot supports, native SegWit support for Bitcoin, ordinals. I think that was just last month, or again, losing track of time, I think it was early March. So that's been a big sort of theme for us this year. And long-term, our mission is to power what we call Bitcoin Web3, really combine the best of Bitcoin with what we see on other chains with Web3. And finally, it is an open source project. All the code is fully open source on GitHub and has been audited by third-party security firms. So it's a wallet you can trust in. So what's the core functionality of the wallet? To generate and also to restore user keys, because it is a self-custody wallet, via seed phrases, which we call secret keys in the product. We also have the benefit of connecting Ledger. So you can come with your Ledger device and instead of entering the keys directly, you can use the key management of the device with Hero Wallets. Currently works with Stacks and will soon work with Bitcoin as well. Of course, you can send, receive, and view digital assets with Hero Wallet. The focus is on Bitcoin as an asset using native SegWit addresses and ordinal inscriptions using Taproot addresses. And then you've got Stacks as a token, as well as other fungible tokens built on Stacks, NFTs built on Stacks, and also BNS names, all in the sort of Stacks realm, BNS being the Bitcoin name system, which you can store with the Hero Wallet as well. The wallet allows you to manage many accounts and connect to many networks. You can use DevNet, you can use testnet to develop. You can connect users. The big thing as far as powering your apps is you can connect users to them using the Hero wallet. If you don't have the Hero wallet, it's hard to connect, or other wallets, you can't connect users to your apps. Basically, the wallet allows you to reveal the user's addresses, both Bitcoin addresses and Stacks addresses to your apps via connections. And perhaps the most important thing is you can sign transactions and messages for users using your apps and the wallet. So that includes Bitcoin transactions, both regular ones and PSBTs, which we'll get into. Stacks transactions, which are often smart contracts, and arbitrary messages, which are any types of contents which you might need for off-chain verification for both Bitcoin and Stacks. So far, we power hundreds of apps. We have Alex for DeFi, we have Gamma for NFTs, we have BTC.US for BNS trading or other BNS purchasing and management, Magic Eden for ordinals, StackSwap for DeFi, Plan Better for stacking, which is a yield sort of protocol built into Stacks, and the Stacks Explorer, which is used for contract development by apps or by developers of apps. For this hackathon, if you're looking to build apps with the support of Hero wallets, some sort of general categories to think of as far as pursuing. If you're looking to have an app that can send, receive, display, or manage Bitcoin as a holding or as an asset type, Hero wallet is good for that. If you want an app that allows people to view, inscribe, manage, or trade ordinals as well, we're perfectly designed for that. Fungible tokens on Stacks are perfect. Any kind of DeFi app using Stacks and L2, Hero wallet is very much in line for that. And of course, NFTs that exist on Stacks as a layer is something that is perfect for the wallet. And then finally, BNS again. If you want to build an app that uses BNS as a sort of asset type, Hero wallet supports that natively. So visually, just to sort of take you through it, when you first encounter the Hero wallet, it's usually by going to an application that has integrated us. And so this is one that we actually built internally called lockstacks.com. And so a user will try to connect to your app. Here at the top right, there's a button called Connect Wallet. Most apps have that sort of thing. By clicking on it, if the user does not have the Hero wallet installed, they will see a list of wallets that are compatible with the app. And we use a library called Stacks Connect, which is a Hero-based library that makes it easy for you to integrate wallets out of the box with a framework. And so here, the user comes, doesn't have the wallet installed. They can see a list of the wallets they want to possibly use with this application. We're listed here, as you can see. And this is a bit of a snippet as far as how the actual code works in the app to prompt this interaction. And so the app doesn't have to worry about the UI here you see as far as displaying it, detecting whether there's a wallet or not, whether there's a session or not. This framework Stacks Connect gives you that out of the box. If you go to docs.hero.so and this path, there's a bunch of details as far as how you integrate this, but it's pretty plug and play to get the initial implementation in place. Once the user does decide to install the wallet, they go over to the extension store, whether it's Chrome or Firefox. It's one-click installation. Your users will then be prompted to save their key, which is of course vitally important that they do. And then once they're in the product, this is after, of course, they've done some things. They've added assets. They can view inside of Hero wallets their Bitcoin, their Stacks, other fungible tokens. You can see here under collectibles, we have a Stacks NFT, an inscription. Mark.btc is my Bitcoin naming system name. So it gives you a sense of the experience that the wallet provides in addition to your app. You can see there's also a tab here for activity, and so your users can see in the wallet the things that they've done with your app in conjunction with the wallet. Here you can see users can deposit assets, various types. They can also, of course, send assets elsewhere. But going back to the app context, once the user does have the wallet installed, your app can prompt them to essentially connect or authenticate. When it comes to Web3, that's really a matter of the wallet requesting from the user that they provide the app with your wallet account's addresses. And so in our case, when the user connects the Hero wallet to your app, they're providing your app with both Bitcoin addresses associated with your account and also the Stacks address associated with your account. At that point, your app can display all the assets that are inside of the account as it wishes. And so you can display tokens, Bitcoin stacks, other fungible tokens. You can display NFTs, ordinals. All that information becomes available to you, especially when used in conjunction with the Stacks blockchain API, which is also a product from Hero that's really readily available. As far as the API for this, it's very simple. Once you have the wallet installed, it's just a one-line piece of JavaScript to request addresses from the wallet, and the wallet takes over as far as the user experience to make sure that the user can provide permissions for that. We also have 4 apps that want to support the trading of ordinals, ordinal inscriptions. PSBTs, like I said before, these are partially signed Bitcoin transactions. These are the sort of new way for trustless trading of inscriptions to take place. And Hero Wallet supports these out of the box. And so you can see here on Magic Eden, the user is prompted to transfer an inscription in exchange for a certain amount of Bitcoin. And so your apps can essentially construct quite extensible ways in which users consent to exchanging certain things, whether they're Bitcoin or inscriptions, for other sets of inscriptions or Bitcoin. And we're just seeing these sort of creative possibilities of this technology now, because this feature I think we rolled out maybe 2-3 weeks ago, so it's very new. The method or the API for this is signed PSBT. We have documentation that goes into depth about how you can do this. This is just a bit of a snippet, and it requires another library as well, as far as sort of formatting the requests and making sure that your app knows how to pass validly formatted, partially signed Bitcoin transactions to the wallet. Soon we'll also have the ability for apps to prompt the user of the wallet to do a simple Bitcoin transaction. And so whereas partially signed Bitcoin transactions are a bit more complex, require counterparties and what have you, this will be just as simple. The app says, hey, we want the user to send this amount of Bitcoin to a particular address because it serves the function of the app. And so this we will roll out very soon. And we also have a version of arbitrary message signing for Bitcoin that's already drafted and you can use in your apps if you need off-chain verification of the user's identity on Bitcoin. And so if you need to prove that the user does own an address and the assets on that address, whether it's Bitcoin or inscriptions, you can use this feature to do so. And so it's the sign message method of our API. We also have a version for Stacks available if you want to prove ownership of a Stacks address additionally. As far as Stacks, the key thing that we enable is the ability to prompt the user to execute a contract, a smart contract on Stacks. There are actually 3 different types of transactions you can prompt the user to do on Stacks. There are simple transfers, so send Stacks to another address. There are contract executions and there are contract deploys. So if you're developing contracts, you can also use the Hero Wallet to deploy them and to test them. So here we see a contract execution modal, which the app has triggered. This is Gamma to purchase an NFT on Stacks. And you can see that we have this experience here where we show the amount you will be paying for this NFT, and we show that you'll be getting this NFT. So yeah, this is a sort of screen in which you can see what are called post conditions on Stacks. And so your app can essentially enter into this relationship with the user who wants to transact on the Stacks blockchain, where it provides certain guarantees that the app says, okay, you're going to do this for that, and the user can proceed safely along those paths. The API for this is also via the Stacks Connect library. And so it's bundled into the same code as being able to connect to an application upfront with the wallet. And there's a lot of documentation as well here at docs.hero.so that you can dive into. Although again, it's to have a simple contract execution out of the box, it's pretty straightforward to get going, to get started. In general, I'd say the best place to go for documentation on the Hero Wallet, developer documentation, is herowallet.gitbook.io. From here, you can see everything I walk through in detail. We also link off to the Stacks Connect library, which is separate because it's we have a mix of APIs that are direct to the wallet itself. The object that sits within the browser that you want to interact with as an app developer. There's a mix of those sort of APIs with using the Connect library, which gives you some various helper functions and extra capabilities out of the box. And if you integrate the Hero Wallet into your app, it's really most useful to do so alongside the Stacks blockchain API, which allows you to take the addresses that you get from the Hero Wallet and query the network for data. Similarly, the new Ordinals API from Hero, you can do the same thing, take Bitcoin addresses and query for Ordinals information. You could also link to the new Ordinals Explorer, and actually I left it out, and also the Stacks Explorer, because we have two explorers, from your app, again, referring to the same addresses and assets that come from the wallet. And then Stacks.js is a sort of widely useful JavaScript framework that goes beyond just the connect part that I talked about, that gives you a whole other sort of set of functions that you might want in your application. So especially if you're looking to do more advanced things in your application, take a look. Stacks.js gives you sort of a whole utility belt that you can use as you integrate the wallet. And a lot of this, the documentation on these other products are at docs.hero.so. As you're developing, as you're on your journey, please come to us with your questions. We're on Discord, we can answer your questions there. We're also Hero Wallet on Twitter, so feel free to reach out. We'd love to hear what you're building, of course, and get your feedback on if there are APIs that we don't have already and you want us to support. We're happy to take them into consideration and perhaps provide them very quickly. So do let us know.